All right, guys, good to be back with you again. We've got 2 matches left, so this is the first one. Then tomorrow we'll know if we stay up or if we go down. If we go down, it's a new team. If we stay up, we'll stay here for a little while. Very, very familiar-looking team out here. I'm going to put Xie Penglong along with Sam together, even though they don't seem to get along. We'll see if that actually plays a role or not. Remember, I mean, we're just trying to get out of this season. We're trying to get done with these 2 matches, and that's about it. And finally, my beginning of game talk actually seemed to have some sort of positive influence on somebody. So that's a nice change. And yeah, we'll see what we're able to do here. It looks like we have a very small crowd on hand. Again, I think that the crowd has actually been increasing in size with these home games as we've moved along. It's just not very visible. I mean, it looks like there are 5 people there. It will probably tell you there's like 150 or something like that. But Football Manager has a few problems doing things to scale. So we'll see what happens. See if we continue to have little graphical hiccups and glitches here and there. And I mean, I don't know. You know how it is. We've been dealing with this for quite some time. And it's Cai Yuting who's able to win that one and head it over to the opposition player, which wasn't a very good idea. And this time they do have a header that goes over everybody's head, including the head of the goal. And so we were able to see that one off. Now they've knocked this free kick forward, and it's Mun Tae-soo who was able to get onto that one. And once again, we have a bunch of guys sort of standing around in midfield, not doing much of anything. Mun Tae-soo has got to be a South Korean player who has had 2 really good shots on goal there and seems to be a pretty good striker. So, I mean, we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can close him down or not. And, yeah, let's go ahead and push forward, see what we're doing here. We haven't seemed to have had much possession so far today, so that's not exactly a good thing. Hopefully we can get the ball at some point in time. Katata ends up winning that one, and once again, we see absolutely nothing in terms of a highlight for us, but the individual ratings are looking pretty good, so apparently the guys are doing something on their own. And I keep seeing that they end up starting with the ball deep in their own half, which is probably a good thing for us. There we go. Shoot Your Way wins that and then passes right away to Fenelus. I mean, that might be a little bit of a reason for the problem we've been having here. Li Mao ends up shooting one from the middle of nowhere, and of course, it doesn't even come close to going in. Sam wins this one in the air, and it's over to Cai Yuting. Cai Yuting is going to slow it up a little bit, and then he passes to the defensive player. So we're still having a hard time getting on the same page. And this is going to be a problem. That's Chang Yuwen who has, or Zhang Yuwen who scored that one for Hong Yuan, and that's going to be 1-0 for them here in the early going. This is not a team that we really should entertain any thoughts of beating. I mean, they're 3rd in the league. We are 7th in the 18 league. So, I mean, they're definitely better than us, at least on paper, but we hope that we have at least some sort of showing, and we would like to see these guys play with some sort of urgency and at least try not to be relegated, but we'll see what happens. Fenelus with the ball over there to Li Mao. Li Mao over to Menogong. You know, he wants to move forward like that over to Shoot Your Way, and then he just shoots a shot from nowhere for no apparent reason, and that's one of the problems we've been having. If you know how to fix up the tactics so that that doesn't happen, please let me know, because I'm at a loss. I've been trying for quite some time to fix things up so that I can stop seeing insane shots by guys who have no business shooting instead of passing the ball and working it into the box, is what I told them to do. And I'm not quite sure I understand why our defenders gave this attacking player for them so much space. So we continue to have some problems here defensively and offensively as we look from time to time like we don't exactly know what we're doing here. And we haven't been looking very good here in the first half, that's for sure. I'm not seeing any particularly poor performances other than the usual. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, this is not a team. This is not a group of personnel that I've necessarily fallen in love with. I think that, there are a lot of players that could be changed, but we hope to have the chance to do that, because if we end up in 8th place at the end of the season, then we're gone. And if we're in 7th place, we're probably gone too. Li Mao with it, because then you have to play, I think, in a playoff. Li Mao takes it up forward by himself and crosses over to Fenelus, who scores. And Fenelus has scored once again. No flag up that I can see. It makes it 1-1. He's scored in every single match that we've had him in. So that was definitely the signing of the season. I mean, this has been really, really impressive by Fenelus so far. And yeah, I mean, he's onside, gets that header and knocks it in, and that makes it 1-1. a draw helps. A draw does not necessarily guarantee that we're out of the range, but a draw is better than a loss. A loss really makes me start worrying, but what we need to do is accumulate points. That's what we need to do. Fenelus with it again. The pass is over to Limao. I hope he passes, and instead he takes a shot. And, I mean, again, he's on the support role, right? He's supposed to be playing a little bit further back and supposed to look to pass before he shoots, and instead he's looking to shoot first. So, I mean, these are little complaints here and there. I don't know if this sort of poor performance is due to the player, or if it's due to the pressure of the match, or if it's due to the tactic. That's the thing that's so hard to figure out, right? When they don't do what you tell them to, it could be that, yeah, maybe Football Manager's broken, but it also could be the case that you're just dealing with specific players who don't like you or who are incapable of playing that way or whatever. It's how you think passes forward over to Fenelus, and of course, it's over his head again, which is the reason why we try to have a tactic that builds things up slowly instead of dumping it up to the other side of the pitch, and we can't seem to get that in our heads. The other problem is, of course, cohesion and the way that Football Manager displays the lack of cohesion. Munde Su with the shot again, and he's had a lot of good shots in good range and then hasn't done anything with them. Fenelus wins this header really, really deep in their penalty box over to Limao. Limao with it over to Menogong, and that's over to Fenelus, who almost gets number 2. He ends up somehow winning that header. That's kind of surprising me. He was able to win that one. And this is pretty good there from Limao. The Menogong with the excellent cross. Fenelus had 2 guys on him and still came very, very close to scoring. So that's not a bad job at all. Menogong having another fairly poor match, so I think that his rating improved after that cross. And this is problematic. Kataka, fortunately, is able to grab onto that one before it becomes a bigger problem. And, yeah, I mean, we could use a win here, guys. We could use actually scoring a goal instead of just preventing them from scoring one. So we'll see what we can do. We do have some good performances, that's for sure, but we have also had some that are pretty lousy. And let's see what happens here. We're just about up on time to make a couple of substitutions, and I think we're here now. Magunda has not really lived up to his promise for us. And Shucherway is also not really doing what I would have expected him to do, so we're going to replace them. And then Lingwanda, once again, is having problems, and so, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We'll just put somebody in there and hope that they don't make a big mistake. It looks like we've had more people come into the crowd as the match has gone on. Menogong here with a corner. Steps back and he fires, and he can't quite find his man. Shu Churling over to She Penglong, who takes a shot from range, and that definitely challenges the keeper, but he's unable to put it into the back of the net, which is unfortunate. I think we're going to have to change our left wing back next, who is also having a poor match. So it's a sort of thing that we've unfortunately become accustomed to here. A number of players who are having a poor match and who just are look like they're sleepwalking there for us, and sleepwalking our way into a draw unless we can get something going here and get things turned around a little bit. Menogong's going to stay in there. I know he doesn't like playing that position, but I don't really care because we're not going to play any position that he wants to play, so that's the way it is. And this is looking pretty poor, and Kataka, fortunately, is able to win that one. And the fans sound their appreciation. They're fans, I guess, but they don't have very many fans here is the thing. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly what the thing there at the bottom is supposed to be telling me, but so it is. We've got about 3 minutes left here, and I think we're going to end up seeing this one out for a draw. It's sort of popped up here and out for a corner. So here's Menogong taking the corner, and he knocks that one up for Sam, who can't quite get the head onto it. And She Penglong ends up getting that. I'm not sure who that was who decided to not go after the ball at all on our side. Xu Chihong, I see, over to Sam, over to Limao, to Chen Zheng Jiaming. And yeah, that was a pretty poor attempt at a header there, guys. And this is pass forward. Limao trying to run after. He can't quite get there in time. And as Menogong, who wins this, intercepts it, and he's going to try to cross, and it's not really much of an attempt, and we win a corner. So, yeah, that was a little bit odd. 1-1 still the score. We'll see if we even have enough time for this corner as Menogong goes to take it. I'm not going to worry so much about who the corner takers are because we don't have anybody good. Menogong is going to wait a long time, which is a really foolish thing to do. We would like to win the match. I wish I had a scream at the player button. And that is the end of the match. Thank you, Monagong, for waiting that one out. Maybe he's just still upset with me because of the position he has to play. At any rate, we dominated possession, didn't dominate the XG at all, though, and we're fortunate to come out of this with a draw. That was a pretty poor match. And we'll see if that 1 point is enough to do anything. I think that we have set ourselves up for potential failure. We, I think, have to win tomorrow. We'll see what happens then. Talk to you then. Bye.